Hi guys, and welcome to our video for today, the 13th of May, 2026. So let's go through my watch list, what is on it, and how we're going to trade these stocks and what is next for these stocks for today. So I'm going to start on the 5-minute time frame looking for potential day trades, and then we're going to look on the 4-hour time frame to see what we need to hold these stocks potentially overnight. And then we're also going to look on the daily time frame for some potential swing trade entries on these stocks. Starting here with AIIO. So this one here, really nice symmetrical triangle, bullish pennant against the resistance of 1.8 on this one. And what's just about, it looks like there's a fake out just here of around 5%, which is interesting. I am personally trying to avoid the front of market open based off my strategy and what I've seen over the past few weeks. But anyway, back to this video. So for this one, we just need a 1-minute candle close over 1.8, and I expect this one to run at least 8%. This one is sort of a live sort of maybe entry in this one. So I expect it to at least hit 1.96, 1.95 to $2 on that one. So upon entry, it should be 8% from the entry point. So at least 8% from the resistance line it should hit on that one. So get rid of that pop-up. And now let's get rid of this symmetrical triangle too and go to a 4-hour time frame and see what we need on this stock holding it overnight. However, if we do lose 1.5 on this one, we would be done as it's acting as a key level of support here. And if we were to lose that, then we're coming back down to where we came from, 1.2, and retest of the 60 EMA and death cross ultimately being put back in place with the retest of 60 EMA around $1.05, which is a massive drop off from around 1.8 of where we are now. So to hold this overnight, anyway, we need a 4-hour green candle close over 1.8 by end of today, end of tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then our next resistance is just 15% for a first target of selling 50% at around 2.15, and you can start to think about selling 40% more. So around plus 50% from the entry of the next resistance beyond there of 2.75. So if you already have a 4-hour green candle close or massive push over 1.8, then you'd be focusing on a 4-hour green candle close over this 2.15 resistance instead. So that's what we need on that one. And maybe a bit easier to see on the daily time frame, and is really more clear, to be honest. So a daily candle close, green candle close specifically, over 2.15 would be really bullish, as you're bullishly engulfing the whole 2.15 area, and also building upon this death cross 60 EMA here. And your next resistance is a massive decent gap up to around 20-25% plus 2.75. So a daily candle close over 2.15 on this. I would look at this for potential entries for swing trades. It looks quite good. And again, on a day trading basis, just 1-minute candle close over 1.8 for at least an 8 to 10% sort of move on that one. And if it loses 1.5, it's done. So going into this one now. This one is called AEHL. So we're just going to put this in the faint yellow as we slice through this 3 level quite a few times now. And looking on the 5-minute time frame here, we're going to mark the up thrust of 3.37 for potential day trade on this by converging into a falling wedge formation. And we're just going to wait for a 1-minute candle close or a few percent, 2-3% push over the $3 resistance line here. And then it should run at least 8%, 6 to 8% from there. I'm just going to call it 8%. So around 3.3 to 3.35 should hit once we break 3.3 on that one. Sorry, once we break 3, we should hit 3.3 to 3.35. So again, numbers all day with small caps, numbers all day. So let's start with AHL and also structurally as well. The 3.3 to 3.35 is coinciding with the top of the wedge here, and the up thrust just there, as you can see, 3.37 around that sort of area. So that one looks okay for a day trade. I do prefer AIIO, to be honest. And if we lose 2.5 on this one, you're beneath the Bollinger Band Center, and therefore 65% more likely to not only be beneath 2.5, but 65% more likely to be beneath the orange line, the Bollinger Band Center. Ultimately, the line in the sand of the chart for me wouldn't be good. So that's for a day trade on that one. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So I wouldn't hold this overnight until we get a 4-hour candle close over $5 in this one, which seems like quite a way away, and we can measure how wide it is. Yeah, it's massive. It's 60%. It's probably not going to happen. So, and the reason being is because obviously we have a key resistance here at 3.9, and then we'll also strengthen this resistance by the 200 simple moving average in the 4-hour time frame, basically gluing itself to this 3.9 level also. And then if you were to break 3.9, you think, oh great, next resistance at 5, great, 25% gap up. No, think again, my friend, because we have another level here of 200 EMA around 4.5. So you've got not only resistance here with 3.9 and 200 MA in one place, You've got more resistance here around 15% at 4.5, and then another resistance again at 5. So just wait for 5 to be broken. To be honest, 4-hour crinkle close over 5 on this one. For entries for a holding this overnight, I wouldn't look to hold it overnight until you get that criteria enabled. So looking at daily time frame, again, I just focus on the 5 because it kind of tricks you out here. So you can't see any sort of resistance over 3.9 towards 5. Like it seems like a straightforward gap. But the 4-hour time frame, that's what the source is in this one. Potential resistances, and just potential for it to go wrong and hit a resistance and come back down. So I'd wait for a daily candle close of 4-hour candle close, which would be quicker, over $5 in this one, pulled it overnight in swing trades. And again, if we lose 2.5 on that one, yeah, it's not looking good. So looking at this then, QUCY to finish up then. So I'm just going to put this in the faint yellow as I slice through it a few times. And on here, we're going to be mocking up thrust once again of around 0.637, basically 0.64. And all the price action here is in a falling wedge, and I'll be waiting for 2-3% pushover or a full 1 minute crinkle close over 0.65, and expect it to release 8% from there. So you're talking around 0.7 to 0.73 sort of target on that one. Once it breaks over 0.65, it does look quite good, to be honest. So again, just lots of choppy action for the front of market open. Nothing really going in a clear uptrend from what I can see. However, on this one, if you were to lose 0.45, I would consider it done because you're losing the key support here. And this Bollinger Band center, the orange line here, again, when we're above it, we're 65% more likely to win above it. But when we're beneath it, we're 65% more likely to win beneath it. So it's basically the line in the sand of the chart for me. And also this one's probably going to keep on trending up like that. And as price action stays up here with the gap up, as you can see, it's going to smooth out to come higher. And if it were to do the so and come towards 0.45 or higher, if you lose 0.45, you're then looking at the next drop for the 60 EMA and 200 MA and 200 EMA. So it's just, keep, instead of like focusing on looking up, once we lose 0.45, you're focusing on looking down, and it's going to get ugly. Basically, you want to avoid being in the stock at that point. And you always make sure you're buying strength for a trade. So if you're focusing on looking down versus up, and you're not focusing on that key component as a trader, buying into strength. So let's move on to the 4-hour. So 4-hour time frame looks kind of clear to me. So a 4-hour crinkle close over 0.65 would be good. And just nothing really here to say apart from not a spinning top. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's basically a spinning top with a larger candle body. And this just basically an indecision candle with a large top wick and a large bottom wick. But we're above the 60 EMA, which is good. And we just need to get above the 0.65 resistance with a 4-hour crinkle close above. And we do have some resistance here around 15% with the 200 EMA and 200 MA. So look for 15% first target on this one, selling 50%. And then the second target on this one would be the next resistance of around 1.1, in my opinion, or maybe a dollar. We just call it a dollar to make it easy, psychological number. So once we get a 4-hour crinkle close over 0.65, sell 50%, around 15%, just thinking the 200 EMA and 200 MA, these two thick white lines here, basically around 0.75 to 0.77, big resistance, and then sell the 50% or remaining at a dollar on that one. And I wouldn't look to hold it overnight until then. The daily time frame also looks really good. So if you get not only a 4-hour candle close, green candle close over 0.65, and you get a daily green candle close over 0.65, then you should gap up to a dollar quite easily on this. It should be quite smooth for it to hit 0.85 once volume kicks in, and the dollar will be the big price target on this one. We just don't want to be beneath it we don't want to be in this when it's beneath 0.45. I get my words out properly. So they all look good. I mean, this one looks okay now. I'm trying to break $3, so maybe the best one for a day trade. This I still like AIIO, AIIO, because it's I don't know, I just like it more. It's just clean rejection from 1.8. You can see a clear resistance here. So once it breaks properly, it's going to be a clear break. That one looks good. And I also like this QUCY for a swing trade or holding this overnight on the 4-hour time frame as discussed. So hopefully you enjoyed this. You can check us out. Link in the video description and the Twitter bio. So thanks, guys, and catch you all tomorrow.